Helldiver combat log, Zephyr Forge, call sign, oh boy, battle for Super Earth. Date, May 20th, 2185. We successfully made our retreat home. Reports had come in. Command estimated we'd reduced the enemy's fleet strength by 21.5%. That was enough to hurt them, not enough to stop them. But we weren't done. Not yet. They had razed every planet they touched since their reemergence. Widow's Harbor, gone. Peelin 5, gone. New Haven, wiped clean. And they didn't stop there. Those bastards didn't even land on Mars, just swung by in orbit and glassed half the surface like it was a drive-by. No warning, no mercy, just a flash from the sky. And silence. Fucking scum. Training camps had been moved off-world from Mars during the previous days. During our defense of the Noble 3, High Command had predicted it was in the Skuith crosshairs. Our reinforcement was slowed with the new camps not yet up to speed. But now they are here. Not on the rim. Not deep space. Not even creeping around backwoods colonies. They came for Super Earth. The great host dropped out of light speed inside our primary defense grid. Day 1, May 20th. Frontline active defenses were on Remembrance and Eagleopolis. Lowell scheduled us to Remembrance. As we prepared for our first drops, we heard some guy ranting, going on and on in Spanish.
Pues se equivocaron de planeta. Aquí no se medita, se dispara, y al primero que intente ascender la mente, le bajó los humos con plomo patriótico. Hola, amigos. Looks like you got room for one more. You don't have to worry about me. I won't get in the way. Oh, I'm Pedro Morales, but you guys can just call me Pico.
We saluted, then nodded to Lowell. He gave the green light to add the new blood to our team. Deployment to Remembrance. Our mission was simple, on paper. Eliminate their warp-capable ships, cut off reinforcements, seal off their landing zones. But nothing's ever simple in the field, not usually. This time, though, we had backup. Locally stationed SEAF platoons, tough bastards, holding the line with us. We moved fast. They parked their ships faster. We lost count of how many we took out. 200, maybe 3. One by one, we sprinted straight through mobs of Skuith, ducking their staffs, blasting flyboys out of the sky, slapping thermite charges on their hulls like we were tagging ghosts. Same routine every time. Pull the pin, toss the charge. Run, then watch it pop from over your shoulder on the way to the next drop zone. We stuck so many thermites to those floating coffins, the squad started calling it the Stamp. A seal of approval that Super Earth still writes the rules of engagement. They tried to replace their decommissioned ships, tried to outmaneuver us. So we split up, covered more ground, hit harder. Everywhere burning wrecks, the righteous explosions of the Stamp, and Pico all over comms.
¡Ya me tienes harto! ¡Vete a la chingada! ¡Me cago en tu puta estirpe!
We kind of just assumed it was light hate speech toward the invaders. So we rallied behind him every so often, yelling, "Chinga tu madre!" Since that was about all the Spanish the three of us knew. Day 2, May 21st. Intel confirmed what our forward scouts had already warned us. The Illuminate are shifting their offensive toward Eagleopolis. Long-range scans showed clear signs, warp trails, concentrated fleet clustering, elevated psionic interference. They're massing for a direct assault. Our objective was clear. Hold the line. Keep as many cities standing as long as possible. Force their initial assault to stay spread and slow. Buy time, at any cost. Then the call came in. Eagleopolis was under threat. So we dropped him, no questions, no hesitation. Straight into the fire. Illuminate craft were still firing on Eagle fighters when we hit the ground. Exactly as the reports warned. The Eagles had to fly lower, slower, careful not to get shredded by Stingray patrols while rearming. Even Eagle 1, best pilot in the business, had to play it safe. On deployment, we gave it everything. Activated the orbital cannon, brought down an enemy overship, evacuated every civilian we could reach. But even then, Eagleopolis was on the verge of collapse. Day 3, May 22nd. Eagleopolis has fallen. The Illuminate took it. We weren't there when it happened. Our scheduled deployment had been delayed. Lowell held us back, waiting on a full high command report to determine where reinforcements were most needed. I couldn't just sit on my hands, so I went down to a green zone in Remembrance to help with civilian evacuation. If I wasn't fighting, I had to at least be doing something. Handing out water, running head counts, loading families onto evac transports, directing wounded to the medical outpost. It wasn't glory, but it kept me from thinking about the what-ifs. That's when I heard him. I turned, squinting through the smoke-choked crowd. No way. Holy shit. It couldn't be. But it was. Reggie Forge, my younger brother. You know, I used to be the wild one. First to jump, first to bleed, and now you show up, stealing all the glory. Reggie is pure focused fury packed into a body that just won't quit. Hell, he's got more confirmed kills than half of Fort Union. Tougher than titanium, smarter than he lets on. Before the invasion hit home, he was already a decorated field sergeant in his SEAF platoon. He could have stayed back, played it safe. But what did he say? When the skies lit up over Super Earth, it was time to get in on the real action. He'd just wrapped his last patrol, hours in the dirt, and still offered to drop with us that same evening. Truth is, even if we'd said no, he would have forced his way into the squad anyway. That's Reggie. By then, the front lines in Remembrance were crumbling. Illuminate forces were tearing through the city, sector by sector. So we dropped, with Reggie at the ready. Our mission was to eliminate enemy warp ships, cut off landing zones, and halt their northern advance. Reggie, he brought the scalpel. Surgical with his stratagems. Perfect placement. Cooldown's time to the second. The moment one weapon rearmed, another beacon lit the sky. Strike after strike. It was like watching a force of nature. Relentless, precise, unshakable. I swear I almost sat back just to watch him work. He was laughing in the middle of the chaos, loving it, and I'll be honest, damn, I was proud. At the end of it all, we gave each other a good, strong, democratic embrace. No fears, no tears. We both knew we'd see each other again. As Reggie made his way off into the distance, I cupped my hands and yelled after him.
Oh, by the way, if you're rolling with us from now on, we're calling you Dirtweed.
He didn't even turn around, just threw up a middle finger and kept walking, laughing the whole damn way. Day 4, May 23rd. High Command issued an official statement of major order, complete along with new objective. The major order to slaughter the Squid's initial launched attacks has been completed. We Helldivers, fighting side by side with regular SEAF soldiers, have caused significant losses to the Illuminate ground and airborne detachments. Projections indicate that clearing the targeted benchmark has resulted in a 10% hit to the Illuminate fleet strength, in addition to their losses from attrition. The initial wave of assault is over. The battle for Super Earth now entering its critical next phase. Illuminate fleet strength currently stands at 49%. 6 megacities remain standing. They must be defended at all costs. The Helldivers are ordered to execute a sustained campaign of successful operations on Super Earth. We stood on the edge of oblivion, and we didn't blink. We continued our support of Remembrance. The days passed by in a flash. Reports would come in, one after another. Too many to keep up with. Day 5, May 24th. Operation Rampart.
Mission failure isn't an option. We need as many successful missions as possible. We cannot afford to lose any ground. Cities in defense are starting to weaken. In, out, and on to the next one. No time for a stroll through the park.
1405, Remembrance nearing collapse. 1529, Admin Center. 02 under siege. When the homeworld starts cracking, you don't argue. You load the stratagems and get to work. 1606, situation. Dire. Cities crumbling and burning. All units recalled. 2128, Admin Center. 02 falls. 2147. Remembrance falls. That one hurt. Remembrance was more than a city. It was a promise. 2149. Super Defense Protocol. Sapphire activated. Rainforests converted into massive tactical airstrips. Eagle rearm time cut by 45 seconds across Super Earth. We lost 2 cities and our rainforests, but gained sharpened talons. Day 6, May 25th, 8:50. Illuminate pivot to equality on sea. We were determined to ensure EOS remained upright. After all, it was still standing after being attacked on the second day of the invasion. 10:59, York Supreme under siege. Day 7, May 26, 1432, Secondary Major Order. Operation Reforged Station. Objective: destroy 200 million automatons for DSS repairs. They wanted 200 million bots in pieces. Our divers in the automaton territories will give them 210. Day 8, May 27th, 1028. Operation Rampart. Extraction counts. Fail. Illuminate fleet. 24% strength. We bled to buy time. Time was enough. 11:04. Final phase begins. Major order. Operation. Do or die. 4 cities left. No room for mistakes. Day 9, May 28th, 3:12. Port Mercy nears collapse. 7:36. York Supreme faltering. 10:32. Port Mercy falls. Our medical and ammo supply lines. Gone along with it. 10:35. Super Defense Protocol. Diamond activated. All collateral mitigation efforts removed. If the civvies hadn't made it out of the combat zones already, then they were really just asking to be in harm's way. Democracy can no longer wait. It's critical that we turn up the heat, and turn it up right now. High Command authorized orbital napalm barrage for all Helldiver loadouts. They took our meds. We gave them fire. 1334. York Supreme falls. Super Defense Protocol. Ruby. Initiated. Fast recon vehicles granted. Reinforcements limited. Last 2 cities. Prosperity and equality on sea. If we fall here, there's no backup. 1610. Operation Reforged Station. Complete. DSS to make its FTL jump immediately back to us. We need it now more than ever. 1622. Eagle blockade. Activated space superiority restored. A hammer from the heavens. Day 10, May 29th. 0809. Prosperity City attacked. 0829. Frontline holds. EOS. We have almost pushed them off the plank. They have nowhere else to go but back into the sea. They threw everything they had. We gave them less than nothing on equality on sea. 0859. Operation System. Update. Fort Union under bug threat. 2157. President KIA during Prosperity's defense. The president died with a pistol in hand. No retreat. No surrender. Footage recovered was broadcast to every screen across Super Earth. Our leader's final moments, a defiant stand in the burning rubble. Watching him give it all only gave us more reason to push back at the enemy harder. 2202. Fort Union successfully defended. Who would have thought that the divers holding the bug front during the total destruction of Super Earth would be the ones who helped save it? 2224. Malware deployed. Illuminate fleet takes a 5% hit. One technician, one laptop, crippled an entire battalion's worth of ships and was immediately promoted to commander of the 405 Cyber Warfare Detachment. One techie did what an army couldn't. 2242. Illuminate fleet teetering. Final push. No Helldiver sleeps. Day 11, May 30th, 2185. We had done it. Report came in at 11:15. Super Earth liberated. The great host is in retreat. We bled for this rock, for every inch, for every soul, every vote. On this day, democracy held. 12:25, new president sworn in. Managed voting is quick, and we need direction with our cities in ruins. We need them to get Super Earth recovering and rebuilding infrastructure.
The Illuminate didn't just want to conquer Super Earth. They wanted to unmake it, rewrite it in their image. They nearly succeeded. We watched Eagleopolis and remember its fall, then Administrative Center 02, then Port Mercy and York Supreme. The great monuments of our democracy, burned, razed, and defiled. Our orbital supply chains were strangled. Our stratagems slowed. Ammunition was scarce. Reinforcements bled dry. The president himself died with a pistol in hand. But we never broke. We rallied under super defense protocols. We lit the sky with napalm. We rebuilt the Democracy space station with scrap, sweat, and sacrifice. We struck from orbit with malware born in a technician's basement. And in those final hours, when everything teetered on the edge, when Equality on Sea and Prosperity City stood alone, surrounded by wounded Earth, we held the line. And then, we pushed them back. Now, the skies are clear. Super Earth is ours once more. The Illuminate retreat in shambles, their great host shattered, their fleets burning in low orbit. A new president has risen, not in peace, but in the ashes of a hard-won war. Let every crater be a monument. Let every fallen megacity be rebuilt, stronger. Let the stars remember. We are the last wall and first blade. We are the Helldivers. Liberty lives. Managed democracy prevails. Super Earth stands eternal. For Super Earth we stand, forever and always.